Hello, my name is Michael Carrera, and today I'll be providing you with an informative presentation on a Fortune 500 company, specifically the Walt Disney Company, and the company's CEO, Bob Iger, including his leadership and management practices. I'll take a moment to discuss the company profile, an overview type of business, main segments, and market profile. The Walt Disney Company is a multinational mass media and entertainment conglomerate that owns over 100 subsidiary companies, a giant of industry with holdings in media networks, studio entertainment, direct-to-consumer streaming, parks and experiences, including consumer products. They are one of the world's largest entertainment companies with a diversified global portfolio ranging from major brands, various streaming services, studios, theme parks, and more. Now let's take a moment to discuss the Disney Company's mission, vision, and global footprint. The Walt Disney Company's mission is to entertain, inform, and inspire people around the globe through the power of unparalleled storytelling, reflecting the iconic brands, creative minds, and innovative technologies that make it the world's premier entertainment company. The mission is supported by a corporate vision focused on generating the best creative content, fostering innovation, and expanding into new markets. Entertain, inform, and inspire are the core values of the company's mission. It is to deliver content and experiences that achieve these three goals for a global audience. Unparalleled storytelling. This is the central method through which Disney achieves its mission, using its powerful brands and creative talent. Innovative technologies. The company emphasizes using and developing new technologies to enhance its storytelling and entertainment offerings. Corporate vision. A key part of the company's strategic direction is to focus on three pillars: creating high quality content, innovating with technology, and expanding into new markets. Create happiness. At a more fundamental level, the company has an internal purpose of creating happiness for its guests and employees, which connects everyone's role to a larger positive goal. Disney's vision is to be one of the world's leading producers and providers of the entertainment and information, with the core purpose of creating happiness by providing the finest entertainment everywhere. Although the company doesn't have a single simple publicly stated vision statement today, this mission statement captures the essence of the goals and long-standing vision. Strategic pillars, focusing on these three pillars: generating the best creative content, fostering innovation through technology, and expanding new global markets. Disney operates theme parks and resorts in North America, Europe, and Asia, cruise lines and vacation clubs, and a broad portfolio of media brands. Let's discuss an important topic: Code of Ethics, Governance, and Core Values. Code of Business Conduct applies to all employees, officers, and directors. Strong board governance structure with independent directors and clear committees that provide broad oversight, fiduciary duty, avoid conflicts of interest, and fair dealings. Detailed in the Standards of Business Conduct and Code of Business Conduct and Ethics. The company's core values include integrity, respect, inclusion, imagination and storytelling, innovation, decency, community, quality, and optimism. The Walt Disney Company commitment to excellence and service culture is built around safety, courtesy, show, and efficiency, otherwise known as the four keys. The Walt Disney Company's organizational culture is cooperative and adaptive. Disney's organizational culture is cooperative and adaptive, driven by decentralized structure that empowers self-managing teams and encourages collaboration and innovation. This culture is sustained by adapting to change, fostering a more flexible and organic environment, and translating broad values into specific observable behaviors through consistent training and feedback. Cooperative, collaborative communication. Disney promotes high quality conversations and meetings designed for collaboration rather than one-way dialogue. Empowerment. The company values empowerment with less rigid structures that give self-managing teams more creative control. Inclusive environment. Disney fosters an environment where employees from diverse backgrounds work together to amplify creativity and problem solve. Constructive conflict. Leaders are encouraged to ask for input from all employees and create a safe space for them to share ideas, which can lead to constructive conflict and innovation. Adaptive. Strategic foresight. Disney utilizes strategic foresight to update organizational processes and prepare for the future, leading to innovative products and services. Flexible structure. The company has moved towards a more flexible, organic, and less rigid system to better suit a faster changing business environment. Decentralized structure. A decentralized, multi-divisional structure allows different business segments to operate independently while still being under the corporate umbrella, enabling each to adapt to its specific market. Focus on learning and growth. The culture supports continuous learning through access to training, workshops, and conferences, ensuring leaders are ready to embrace change. Observable behaviors. Disney breaks down its cultures into specific observable actions, like the four keys: safety, courtesy, show, and efficiency, which are used to guide employee behavior and align actions with the company's mission. Cast members are trained to service principles that encourage exceeding guest expectations and maintaining a positive, magical atmosphere. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. The policy. Disney is shifting its diversity, equity, and inclusion, otherwise known as DEI, policy, moving away from specific DEI initiatives to align with core business strategy of being inclusive to its global audience. This change involves replacing the diversity and inclusion performance factor for executives with the talent strategy factor, which still considers inclusive values but integrates them with overall business success. The company is also phasing out its Reimagine Tomorrow initiative and rebranding employee resource groups to belonging ERGs to emphasize community and belonging. Key policy changes: executive compensation replaced the diversity and inclusion performance factor with talent strategy to evaluate executives linking inclusivity to broader business goals. Internal initiatives phased out the Reimagine Tomorrow initiative and rebranding employee resource groups ERGs to belonging ERGs. Focus on belonging emphasizes a corporate culture where everyone feels welcome and can excel, shifting the focus from equity to belonging. Content warnings. Softened content warnings on classic films which now state this program is presented as originally created and may contain stereotypes or negative depictions. Public reporting recently removed explicit mentions of diversity, inclusion, and DEI from its annual business report, although it continues to state a commitment to creating a diverse workforce and inclusive content. Diversity, equity, and inclusion as a practice, guiding principles, workforce and culture. Seeks to attract and retain the best talent globally with the focus on creating a culture where everyone belongs and can contribute to business success. Content aims to create stories, experiences, and products that entertain and resonate with the global audience. Community Supports underserved communities by establishing and investing in relationships with community organizations. These examples of DEI into practice include employee resource groups, supporting various identities and communities, Disney Volunteers programs that mobilize cast members to serve local communities, inclusive guest experiences, and accessibility enhancements across the parks and resorts, partnerships with schools and nonprofits to broaden access to creative careers. Now let's get to the CEO himself, Bob Iger. Early life and education. Bob Iger was born in New York in 1951. He graduated from Ithaca College with a Bachelor's of Science degree in television and radio. He acquired an early passion for media and storytelling, beginning his career in local TV. Career path to CEO. Career progression at ABC. In 1974, Bob Iger starts working at ABC as a studio supervisor after his early role as a weatherman and campus TV host at Ithaca College. Mid 1970s to 80s, he steadily works his way up through various roles, including studio supervisor, sports manager, and senior program executive. In 1989, he becomes the head of ABC Entertainment, where he greenlights iconic shows. In 1994, he is promoted to president and chief operating officer of the ABC parent company, Capital Cities ABC. Transition to Disney. 1995, Disney acquires Capital Cities ABC, a move that brings Iger into the Disney fold. In 1999, he is named president of the Walt Disney International Company. In 2000, he becomes president and chief operating officer of the Walt Disney Company, reaching the top of Disney. In 2005, Iger is appointed CEO of the Walt Disney Company, succeeding Michael Eisner. In 2012, he is also named chairman of the board. In 2020, he decided to retire, and in 2022, he was asked to return in the same role. Milestones and achievements. Bob Iger's key milestones and achievements include making major strategic acquisitions of Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm, overseeing the launch of Disney Plus and the expansion into the Shanghai Disney Resort, and leading Disney to significant growth, increasing its market cap from 56 billion to 231 billion during his first tenure as CEO. He has been recognized as Time's Business Person of the Year and inducted into multiple Hall of Fames. Major acquisitions and growth. Acquiring Pixar, purchasing the animation studio in 2006 for 7.4 billion, strengthening Disney's animated film slate. Acquiring Marvel, the superhero giant in 2009 for 4 billion, adding blockbuster franchises like The Avengers and Iron Man. Acquiring Lucasfilms. Bob Iger purchased the Star Wars and Indiana Jones owner in 2012 for 4 billion, expanding Disney's intellectual property and content library. Thereafter, acquiring 21st Century Fox entertainment assets in 2019 for 71.3 billion, further broadening Disney's content library and giving it a controlling stake in Hulu. Significant market growth. Oversaw the increase of Disney's market cap from approximately 56 billion to 231 billion during his first CEO tenure. His next ventures, launching Disney Plus, led the creation and launch of the streaming services in November 2019, positioning Disney as a leader in the streaming market. Opening Shanghai Disney Resorts, spearheading the opening of Disney's first theme park and resort in mainland China in 2016, creating a new market for the company. Expanded parks, developing new theme park attractions based on Disney's new intellectual properties, leadership, and recognition, serving as CEO. leading the Walt Disney Company as CEO from 2005 to 2020 and again from 2022 onward. Inducted into Hall of Fames, received honors including induction into the American Television Hall of Fame in 2020 and the Broadcast and Cable Hall of Fame in 2015. Recognized as a top leader, named Times Business Person of the Year 2019 and receiving other accolades from publications like Forbes and Fortune. Publicized the memoir, authored the best-selling book, The Ride of a Lifetime, about his experiences leading Disney. Leadership style and philosophy. Bob Iger's leadership style is characterized by optimism, courage, integrity, and focus on empowerment and storytelling. His philosophy centers on making timely decisions and thoughtful decisions, being authentic and nurturing creative by giving creative leaders autonomy while maintaining a clear strategic vision for the company. Iger's approach is also marked by kindness, humility, and willingness to admit his own knowledge gaps by asking questions. Bob Iger is optimistic, courageous. He holds integrity and authenticity at its highest peak. He is focused. He gives others empowerment and the ability to make decisions. Storytelling is important as including relationship building, kindness and humility, curiosity and thoughtfulness, relentless pursuit of perfection with a balance for fairness. Strategic leadership, building a subsidiary powerhouse. Bob Iger's leadership turned Disney into a portfolio of world-class subsidiaries, including Pixar, Marvel Studios, and Lucasfilms, and Disney's intellectual property universe. ESPN, ABC, National Geographic, and Hulu strengthened media and streaming reach. Park experiences and products, integrated franchises into physical destinations and consumer goods. These subsidiaries create a powerful, interconnected ecosystem for the Walt Disney Corporation. Streaming innovation and global reach, spearheading the shift to a direct-to-consumer streaming with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. Leverage Disney's brand and subsidiaries to compete in the global streaming wars, continued investment in technology data, and international markets to grow the audience, positioning Disney as both a legacy media company and an innovative driven platform. Critical reflection, my leadership versus Bob Iger. My leadership style aligns with Bob Iger's values for collaboration, clear communication, and ethical decision making. Like Iger, I've also worked for the Walt Disney Corporation, and I prefer to listen, synthesize information, and make calm strategic choices rather than reacting impulsively. I believe Bob Iger could be effective at any other company in the media or technology sector because his strengths, vision, acquisition strategy, brand building, and respect for creative talent are transferable to any organization that depends on innovation and storytelling. However, Disney's unique culture and assets also highlight how well his style matches the company built around him for creativity and long-term franchises. Thank you for joining me on this experience on the Walt Disney Company, listed currently as the 47th company on the Fortune 500 list. Take care.